My first deal, that whole first joint was 18. Oh no, it was 15.85.
In the label favor.
15.85. And they gave me crazy money. So I didn't
Never even thought about it.
Didn't even think about it. I didn't even care. Like, bro, they like straight up was like, all right, deal's done. Here you go.
Have you gotten a royalty check before?
Oh yeah, a lot. A lot. So publishing, we worked around that after probably about 10 years. So after about 10 years in that deal, I was like, yo, we need to restructure this. It's crazy. So I still get a lot of royalty. I'm probably never gonna not get royalty checks. But that initial label deal, $15.85 in the label trade. And I was like, bro, there's no way. And they were like, there's all the way. Because here's your signature, you stupid piece of shit. And that was just from greed. And a bunch of people were like, bro, this is a lot of money. You need to take this. It was a huge advance. It's $40 million.
40 million.
40 million.
So this was before or after
this was
a
the
hit?
First. This is I'm sprung.
I signed, I think, when I was 20 maybe, and then kind of.
If 15% is what he's saying, the 40 million was. That's like, imagine how much 85% was.
Same deal. Like, I trusted somebody. I spent most of my 20s, high or like on drugs and just kind of like and hungry. I never looked at my bank account once.
You just wanted to work.
I just wanted to work, and I mean, mostly I was here for respect. Like, I grew up a battle rapper. My hunger was not for money; it was for
to win the battle.
Yeah, of course.
To be considered a great MC.
100%. I started looking at my peers, and I was like, all right, well, why do they have cars and houses, and like I'm still, sharing rentals and, all these, things that weren't adding up with the amount of fame and records that I had sold.
With a label at that time when I dropped that song with Dirk. Out of grace of God, I had a friend, he helped me get out of that situation. People was thinking like, oh, he ain't dropping music because he signed the whole time. I wasn't even signed. I just be perfecting my craft on my own. When I dropped that tape independently, no promotion, no nothing. Got top 20 on the Apple charts, all this. Like, I appreciate them for like the opportunity for sure. Like, I feel like now, like, I really got myself into an even greater situation. You feel me now? So like, it was cool to get my feet wet, see how the industry is, and see like what type of stuff you got to do when you in them type of situations.
Why we got Big Mill bunny hopping?
It's like, so it's cool to get my feet wet with that.
5 types of record deals. Traditional record deal. Yes, you do get an advance, and the label artist royalty split is about 80-20. And the recoupable costs are through the recordings, but the label usually gets to own the masters. 360 deal. You also get an advance, but the label royalty split is about 85-15. But recoupable costs are in everything, so they make money off your TV appearances, your merch, your tours, etc. And of course, the label gets to own your masters. Distribution deal. Sometimes you get an advance, but it's usually not anything too big. And the label artist royalty split is about 75-25. And in terms of
that sounds a lot more higher than any other advance.
recoupable costs, it's in the recordings and the marketing. But the artist gets to own the royalties. Production deal. There is usually no advance with this kind of deal, but the label artist royalty split is about 50-50. So the label would maybe take 50, the artist would take 25, and the producer would also take 25. The producer usually gets to own the masters. A lot of people ask me, so here it is.
For me, I don't like to brag, but I own my masters, you know what I'm saying? But the reason why that was so important for me is because I don't need a label. That's realistic. I didn't need a label, but it's a partnership. You know what I mean? I know a label can get me to that next level that I want to get to, because I want to be mainstream. I want to be a big artist. I don't want to be local or underground, or I got a cult fan base to the side.
And for those who don't know, DaBaby and Wiz Khalifa already made a song with DDG recently.
I want to be able to tour in Antarctica, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to make it to that next level, so it's like,
When the artist signs to a major label, the major label is taking the chance by investing all this money. So they want to make their money back first. So before the artist can make their money back, the major label has to make their money back, which is understandable in a deal. But the way they make their money back, I think is a little bit unfair. The artist shares the smaller share and the label gets the bigger share. That's understandable to a certain degree. But when you're paying the advance back, it should come out of the whole portion.
We're talking about contracts being more pro artist as opposed to pro label.
It's pro everybody, because if the artist feels good, he's going to be able to create more traction that helps the label, helps everybody.
Simple as that. We appreciate you.
And be a young boy, he's the biggest YouTuber, you know, for his music.
Influencer, wow.
Influencers for his music. But think about the deals that this generation is doing.
Yeah.
So he did a deal. I looked at it. If I would have been on his team, he did a deal for $2 million for 5 records. So think about that. You got the money up front, but imagine what they get.
Yeah.
So we have to teach that to the next generation. Look at the bigger picture. Don't just look at the now. And that's what I did. I was like, man, yeah, that $1 million look good right now, but what about 10 years from now?
Right.
You know, I wouldn't be able to live like I live right now.
And a taxable million and a recoupable million and a, you know what I'm saying? They hand you $1 million, you
It's
think,
advanced.
I'm rich, I'm gone. Yeah.
That's a write-off for them.
Yeah, man.
You think about it, but you done sold your soul to a 360 deal that you have no knowledge of, because you in the ghetto, you like, millions.
I need it right now.
$2 million sound like a lot of money.
Yeah.
But what if you blow up? So nobody's thinking about what if they blow up. It's good. Some of these deals, because a lot of people don't want to be entrepreneurs or work. So that's where the record company gets you at. You know, so I tell people all the time, you know, the record companies in this generation is really just pimping. So it's almost like a basketball player. If you got your stuff together, you don't have to be a basketball prostitute. You don't have to be Nike and Adidas pimping your kid for a book bag and a pair of tennis shoes.
Yeah.
We can create that our own. Same thing in the music business. It's ways now with the digital downloading and stuff like that, you could actually be a millionaire if you take your time, if you get a hit record and want to put the time and sacrifice. But this generation really don't want to do that.
I agree. Y'all want to take the show away. That's why we got so many trash artists, is because y'all want to just really look like a rapper, but not really be a lyricalist. Y'all don't got no real love for the game, for the music, and y'all just sign because, you know, they're going to use y'all. And it's just marketing at this point.
I go to an Atlantic, say I don't have any numbers, and I just maybe Lon Ray or one of the executives over there believes in me and just thinks that maybe they can build me up.
Right.
So I go in and they might give me $250,000, and you know they own all of my masters.
Right.
They're putting another $150,000-$200,000 behind my marketing. Right. They own my masters again because I didn't come in. I didn't come in with anything. I have no collateral to stand on. You know what I mean? As opposed to a finesse. You know, when the Mob Ties thing just finessed 2 times. When he came home, he ran his bag, like his notoriety and his visibility up so high that when he went to the Atlantic building, he had the whole label there. Everybody, Julie Greenwald, Craig, they don't come out for people, you know, to get signed. Had whole buildings there. No matter what, I can imagine what that email looked like. Drop what you're doing. I don't care. Everyone needs to come to the New York office. Finesse and Prince Jr. are coming by, and we're signing him. Right. Now that deal doesn't look like you give up your masters. That deal looks like we want to be in business with you. How can we cross-pollinate? How can we partake in what you're doing? Because your numbers are going dumb. So if we can license that, we'll still make a few $1 million. If we got to give you a few million now, hey, we'll do some washout on a write-off, and the rest will look like profit. You know, because it's based upon what's going on now. You know, so that would be the difference in getting a licensing scenario partnership or a partnership with Empire or a record deal with Atlantic, you know, coming with collateral or no collateral. Which they rarely do those deals, but
It's more lucrative taking out a loan or signing with a label.
Okay.
I just got done sitting with French Montana. He said the problem that he has with major labels is they give you a loan, but then when you pay the loan back, they own the business. He said, what kind of business is that? He said, in no other business is that true. If you give me a loan and I pay the loan back, I own this. But in the music business, they give you a loan, you pay it back, and they own your business. So
Just like it's not even something to work towards. If you're gonna be in the business of music.
Well, to answer the question, what a loan is supposed to do is I'm supposed to be able to take X amount of dollars from a bank or whoever is giving me the loan, and I'm supposed to be able to pay that back over a period of time with interest. So they may give me $100,000, and over 10 years, I may pay back $180,000. But once I pay back that 180, we're square. Now, in the music business, you give me $100,000, you just put me most likely in a 360 deal. So now every show I do, I got to pay you. Every single I do, I got to pay you. You now own this business.
They just gave you a loan with the understanding that the money's coming in on the back end and they're just going to keep fronting it like this until you've made whole, right? Now, let's say you've released enough records and you make $1 million. So you've now paid back everything that went in. You're making 16 cents for every dollar, even after you did all that work and paid them back. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hold on. And then you're going to own the masters?
So they gave you a loan to build this business. Yeah. And then once after the loan
once
is
it's
done,
all built, it's theirs.
now they get to keep it. You get 16% of the company.
There you go. There you go. You get 16% of the company you built on a loan. Is that a good deal?
That's basically.
Yeah, the label finances the record, right? And because of that, they own the record. And
full 100%.
Well, not 100%. There's a deal involved. Check this out. Here's the deal, y'all. I'll finance the record, and I'll give you an advance if you need it. Like if you need a draw, or I'll give you an advance, go cut your own record, right? So I'll be like, yo, here's $500,000, go cut your record. And we'll promote it, market it on the label side. We'll do everything for you. All you got to do is turn in the record. We'll pay for the videos. We'll pay for everything. But on the side of it, we're going to do a...
That's why you guys need to get your own camera. Invest in a camera. Find you a close friend that do beats. Partner up. You got to work as a team. Get you a small team of people who are good at one thing and the other and contribute to each other's journey. Y'all going to be able to, in the long run, really, if y'all see the vision together, y'all going to be able to do big things with other people that are going to want to work with you. But y'all want to go out here to sign to get everything handed to you.
And this is a generous deal now. We're going to do an 80-20. 70-30. Me get 70, y'all get 30. Okay? Sure. For me financing the record. And we're going to recoup the $1 million or $500,000 at the rate of the deal. Let's say $1 million because it's easy math. And at the rate of the deal, this is where they fuck you. Young artists, please listen. I am giving away game. I could charge for this. This is where they fuck you. They charge at the rate of the deal. So that means that every dollar that's made, I'm going to take my 70 cents out of it. And then I'm going to apply your 30 cents towards the $1 million you owe me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Once that's paid off, you start getting
Then
paid.
once that's paid off, you start getting your 30 cents.
So you're supposed to pay 30 cents on the million you're getting an advancement on? That is crazy. You never going to pay that loan like that.
No.
I think what people don't understand is the artists start off in the hole. Like, all of the money that they give you, you got to pay back. So you start off in the hole. But people that don't understand business don't know that. Like, if they about to give you a check and I could get this money and I could spend it and pay bills with it, I don't look at it like
being
that.
in the hole.
Like, yeah, the average person don't look at it like that. And that's why they don't want to do business with lyricists. Because to be a lyricist, you got to be more smarter. Like, that's why, or older artists, they like to do business with younger artists. That's kids that won't understand this type of stuff. You tell them you're about to give them this type of bag, that's all that matters. Like, you know what I'm saying? They willing to do any and everything because that's what they think is the top of the world. But if you got responsibilities, kids, and you know the type of money you bringing in, you done went through ups and downs, you got experience, then you're going to want to start demanding more. And that's why they don't want to do business with them type of people.
You want to ask questions, too.
Exactly.
that's the
Bingo. Always ask questions. If there's something wrong with you having to ask questions in a negotiation and the other person sounds iffy about it or is not willing to comply and answer your questions, more than likely they're trying to screw you over.
Are you giving me this money? What you want from me for this? Then it's like, hold on. I thought you were just going to take this shit and just put this shit in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Come and talk to me tomorrow. But it's like, before I cash this check, bro, what does this come with?
You want to know the real truth about record labels? Keep on listening. You hardly get paid when you sign a record deal. It's crazy to say. It's crazy to think about, but I'm going to break it down to you. So basically, I want you to start treating record deals as credit cards. When you spend a credit card, you got to pay the credit card back. Same logic applies to record deals. So let's say an A&R executive gives you $1 million and you sign off the contract. So now you have to live off that $1 million. But guess what? It get taxed, so now you're left with like 500, 600K.
And that's the worst part. Signing, even if you look, the more you sign for, the more taxes they take. It's like you don't win.
One, you have to live off that. Two, if you have a team, you have to pay out your team. Three, most of that's going towards your studio sessions. So when you really think about it, you see why artists go broke. And the best part of it all is that you won't get paid until you recoup that 1 million plus interest. Yes, record labels add on interest. That's how they make their money back.
That's
record
crazy.
labels can be a good thing. There's a lot of record labels, especially independent labels, that are more artist friendly. That allows you to get more royalties, more percentages of your songs. A good example is 21 Savage. I forgot who he signed to, but he has a 70-30 split. So out of $1, he gets 70 cents out that dollar. So realistically, he's making more money off streams than touring, which is crazy to be in. That's an amazing situation. SZA is the same thing. I think she's with RCA. So when you have these deals, try to build leverage. This is what social media is for. This is what numbers are for.
Yeah, that's real. You gotta use social media to your advantage. You gotta know how to do some marketing. Alright? And then use credit. Alright? There's no reason to get a loan this way when you're not gonna own the business. And that's what I caught from this video. You're better off getting a loan from a bank. Other than that, man, I do need to know more about what owning your masters mean. And yeah, because that's something I'm still trying to learn myself as I'm going through these videos. Other than that, I appreciate y'all. Like up the video on the way out. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And we'll see you on the next one.